JP Morgan Chase cuts ties with Kanye West. Interesting stuff. So, about a week ago, I believe about a week ago, Kanye put out this like really disturbing tweet. It's right here. He goes, "I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going death con 3 on Jewish people," capitalized. The funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic, or I can't be anti-Semitic because black people are actually Jewish or Jew. Also, you guys have toyed me and tried to blackball anyone who opposes your agenda. So that's what Kanye had to say. And basically, Twitter like closed down his account or something. Uh, Facebook also, or Instagram. Everybody's coming for him. But what is quite surprising is for a financial institution like JP Morgan to decide they're going to cut ties with him and take his money out of their accounts. An extreme move right there. And obviously on this channel, I talk about the business of entertainment. And I just wanted to address this. There's this idea around freedom of speech, having the freedom to say and do whatever you want, but understanding, especially as a content creator or a creative, that when you're using other people's platforms, well, you can't say whatever you want. It's about, he's really upset the wrong people. And I think this is a conversation from our other channel, the Kenim O show, but I'm going to address it. It's very interesting to me when he says slavery is a choice. He says all these derogatory things towards black people, and nothing happens. But he upsets Jewish people, and there's uproar. They close down his bank accounts. It's kind of, to me, all it says is defend what is yours. I'm not even upset. Like, it's a double standard, yes, but we have to understand, look, when it comes down to it, it's just another indicator that black people have to have ownership. Black people have to have ownership. Black people should be united. So when stuff like this happens, we can cancel him from our own platforms, right? But it just seems as though the infrastructure around black platforms isn't as mature, obviously, as Jewish platforms. So he's been canceled across not just these social media platforms that are owned by Jews, but also banking institutions that have nothing to do with that. Because at the end of the day, this is a very influential individual. His words do matter, and he's affected people that own institutions by making these anti-Semitic tweets. He's affected, or he's upset the wrong people. Now, I'm not saying, obviously, what he said is disgusting. I don't support anything that he says in terms of when he goes after black people, or he goes after Jewish people, or goes after any sort of racism, sexism. I don't support any of that. So it's quite disturbing that he even felt the need to say that. And obviously what he's saying, black people are Jew. Like, what are you even talking about? But I just think it's so interesting, this idea of, I always push this idea that you can never really be canceled if you own your own platforms. But I think this has kind of shown me like, okay, well, actually, yes, you can. Because ultimately, in the world that we live in, we need these different institutions to operate businesses or whatever it is. And Kanye is going out here, and obviously as an individual, you're not going to be able to own everything. You're not going to be able to own the bank. You're not going to be able to own all these things. So at the same time, I do believe that as an individual, you should have the freedom of speech, but I don't believe in freedom of hate speech. And that's an interesting thing to analyze. Another thing is, when I say all these things about you can't be canceled, well, I'm coming from a place of believing in equality. I'm coming from a place where I believe in progression of society. That's where I'm coming. That's my foundation. So I do have to acknowledge and think objectively the fact that a lot of these people that are being deplatformed, a lot of these people that are being canceled, well, they don't promote these ideologies, right? When you think of Andrew Tate, when you think of Sneeko, when you think about Kanye, what they're pushing is racism, what they're pushing is sexism, what they're pushing is is to regress society. So I completely understand why they're being deplatformed, and I get it. I'm still gonna stick by the idea that you can't be canceled. Like, you can't really be canceled, and you should be an independent sovereign of your own business. I do admire Kanye from the business side, and two things can be true. Kanye can be an incredible businessman and inspiration musically in his professional life, and he can also be a completely, I don't even want to use insults, but completely the polar opposite in his personal life. We know that he struggles with mental health issues, and I don't support Kanye on his personal choices and the way he operates and talks about race and all these things. I don't support that at all. But I also have to acknowledge that, look, this is a very promising entrepreneur. I don't think that I'm going to be supporting him as much after his White Lives Matter shirt. I'm not going to be as supportive of him as much. And I understand why JP Morgan Chase decides to cut ties with him. And I think it's a good thing, because this is someone that just goes on these big platforms, rambles, just says any nonsense that comes to his mind. And basically just is like purposefully saying things to get attention, but the things that he's saying to get attention is extremely offensive and really sort of champions sexism, or not even sexism, but racism, and anti-Semitism. And I think, yeah, I am not pro Kanye on this. I think what was interesting was it Ben Shapiro, just looking at how Fox News have covered this whole situation with Kanye West has been interesting, and kind of just shows you the double standard there. I think, was it Ben Shapiro that went on saying, just Fox News and all these Candace Owens and all these people who you see them championing Kanye and saying he's a genius and this and that and that. But at the same time, now they want to backtrack. Like, okay, Ben Shapiro of what's it called? The Daily Mail or whatever that platform is. Look at what he says here. Where is it? Oh, why did it disappear? I have to log it. No, anyway. Yeah, so our point is, don't support Kanye on this. I understand why JP Morgan Chase felt like they needed to cancel him. I'm not against it. But those are my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a comment down below. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, all the above. And I'll see you next time. Peace.